We have a reading for you about somebody who is laying down the law, and I feel like it's this Queen of Wands in the reverse is losing their temper in a public place. It could be like a family reunion type thing, or like maybe it's like a restaurant. But you see how this King of Swords, it's like he's coming out from the back room or like the boss's office. Like, I was not supposed to have to be on the floor, but you out here like making a total fool of yourself. So I'm going to have to come out here and tell you how it is, or ban you, or kick you out, or call the cops. This King of Swords is bringing, like, restoring order to a place because this Queen of Wands in the reverse has lost their temper. So, public crash out. And then this person's like, you're going to have to leave now. So we've got a reading about an argument, it sounds like. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to find my Etsy shop if you are interested in a homemade soy candle. Let's dive in. I think we're going to start with the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. I have a confession to make. I was trying to take today off. And then I was like, oh, I don't have any like shorts to post, so I have to at least record some shorts. And then I was like, well, I guess I might as well do a live stream. I can't stay away from you guys. All right. Let's see what we've got. Two of Swords, Judgment, and the Seven of Wands. We could actually have somebody who is going to be faced with some sort of like court appearance. There could be somebody who is having like a car repossessed, but we have some issues here. And it's like you keep pressing, you keep making this like worse than it needs to be or escalating the situation. So we have this King of Swords saying, "All right, I'm gonna lay down the law, or I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna like pull the alarm, right? Because we're sick of your shenanigans." So this King of Swords, just keep in mind they do not have to be a man, but this is a person who's saying, yeah, we're done. We're not going to tolerate that anymore. So you're going to have to leave or you're going to have to change, right? Hello, Chris. How are you doing? Hello, love. What's up? Hello, Danny. I hope you're having a good day. So we have the Three of Swords, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups. Someone was acting a bit like holier than thou or greedy. Maybe even saying, you know, like, oh, I can't believe you would do that. I know the owner of the company. And then the owner of the company comes out and they're like, I'm sorry, can I help you? I was supposed to get 50% off. The owner promised me. And then the owner comes out and they're like, I'm sorry, who are you? So we have someone who may have kind of like overplayed their hands, felt like, or their hand, felt like they were going to be able to pull a fast one or like lord their power over people. And then this King of Swords comes out and is like, we're not going to do that. Okay. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Oh, my condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're able to have some sort of memorial that is meaningful with people that cared for that person. Hello, yours. No, and don't call me love. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? What else do we have? We have Justice and the Magician with the Tower. I do think there's some self-importance here. There's someone who's like, oh, no, no, no. Those rules, they're for other people. They're not for me. You know, so just like put that in your book. trying to wield power that they don't actually have, or realizing that they aren't really the boss. If you've ever had a coworker who was, at the same level as you, but tried to like tell you what to do, this reading might be for you. Because this is like, no, 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 that's not how it works. And it's a little bit like crazy to me that you have the audacity to feel like you can just say that or try to control people or tell them how to do things. I hope that's a clear enough answer for you, Danger. Hello, Arts. Hello, Static. And thank you, Chris. I agree. Hello, Billy. Danger, just to be clear, I put you in a timeout for 600 seconds, but you are welcome to never come back. I do like to be tolerant, and I think we can be of different beliefs and still find a common ground. But when you're going to put it like that, I think it's pretty clear that we're not going to have much common ground. So you can just go find a different channel. Kind of wild to start it out like that. You're almost like this Queen of Wands, and then I'm the King of Swords. It's like, we don't do that here. So thank you for giving me an example for my reading. What else do we have? The Ace of Pentacles, Sun in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. There's someone here who's losing their temper. Someone who feels like they can throw another person on the bus, or, they're a little too big for their britches. They feel like they can boss people around. I mean, I'm trying to avoid it, but I guess we could argue that this is like a Karen energy, right? I don't create the memes. I don't create, the cultural references like that. So my apologies to the women out there that are named Karen that don't really deserve to deal with all of that. But this is somebody who's like, can I talk to your manager? Because I know you're wrong. And then the manager comes out and they're like, actually, you're wrong. And if you don't leave, I'm going to call the cops. Hello, Mr. Worldwide. You might be looking for a different kind of channel. I'm going to put you in a little timeout because you're yelling and being condescending. But hey, maybe we can come back, a couple minutes and be respectful. Hello, Static. How are you doing? Hello, Slammin. Hello, See the Gray. Hello, Mishra. Yes, that would be correct. I am not an astrologer. What are you? It's true, Art, and rather unfortunate. But we have this King of Swords in the reading, and they don't play games. They're just fine with laying down the rules, making it very clear to this Queen of Wands in the reverse that we don't tolerate that. So the strength is in the reverse because we have someone who is trying to exert power in a way that, like, it demonstrates that they actually are insecure. There's a lot of fake confidence out there. A lot of people who want to present themselves in a certain light. And when you actually interact with them, you start to realize that a lot of it is just fake, right? Hello, See the Gray. How are you doing? I like it. Hello, B. How are you doing? What else do we have? The Hanged Man, the Page of Wands, Six of Cups, and the King of Swords coming back out. I do feel like this is somebody who is generally quite nice, the King of Swords. But if there is somebody who is clearly outside of the parameters of how they're supposed to act, whether this is a professional environment or, somebody's home, I don't think it's somebody's home. I think it is something public. This King of Swords is like, we don't do that here. Nope, nope, nope. I can be polite. I can be welcoming. I can be very hospitable. But until you, assault one of my waiters, then, now we have a problem, a big problem. So I do feel like this Queen of Wands in the reverse is somebody who has been verbally, or worse, hopefully not, um, disrespectful, and didn't expect there to be someone like this King of Swords who was willing to put them in their place, or, ask them to leave. This is the Marseille Cat Tarot. Hello, Ruben. How are you doing today? King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. It's kind of funny because with the Ten of Swords, we have a cat who's holding his own head, and then there's a moon there. So I do feel like this is somebody who is kind of playing like a I bet you won't say anything kind of role in the situation. Like, if I say something and it offends you, like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And they don't expect there to be someone who's like, oh, I'll call you out. I'll call your boss and tell him what you were up to last Tuesday. There are people who really do feel like there's not going to be any consequences when they act like a turd bucket. But this Queen of Wands in the reverse turd bucket is getting some consequences. Hello, Gabriel. How are you doing? I'm teasing. Relax. You fired, Static. What else do we have? Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I think this is someone who loses their composure. They lose their temper. They don't have self-control, at least not the amount that they require or should have. And so they're using their words to make some sort of threat. I'll get you fired. I know the owner. Or, if you don't comp this, then I'm going to, break your front door. They're definitely out of hand. But this is someone who seems to feel like they have more power or control than they really do. We've got the Devil and the King of Cups in the reverse. I do think this is someone who's taking out their emotional frustrations on people who don't really deserve to be dealing with them. So if you've ever been a bartender, you've probably dealt with somebody who's coming through and they're upset, so they're expecting that alcohol to fix all their problems. This is someone who's like eager for a fight, eager for someone to step to them so that they can take out some of their frustrations in a way that doesn't really help, right? Hey, that's not really a fun comment, so work on that, will you? Hello, Real Blackhead, what's up? I hope you're having a good day. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. So sometimes you have people who feel like they can, just because they're spending money, they can do whatever they want, right? People who go into restaurants and don't watch their children, or, mistreat the staff. This is someone who feels like because I've paid some money or because I have purchased something in here, I don't actually have to care about the people around me. I do feel like this is a customer's not always right kind of story. So this Nine of Wands is someone saying, yeah, well, you were testing to see what kind of rules we have, and congratulations, you have found them. Hello, Priya. Let's not make this about where I live, okay? That's creepy. You're asking it over and over again? All right, so we're going to put you in a timeout. Priya, Where I am should not matter to you. If you would like to listen to the general reading, be my guest. But if you're going to spam my live chat, then I'm just going to keep you in a timeout or block you. All right? Thank you. What else do we have? Five of Swords in the reverse. Justice in the reverse. There also might be something here about a videotape rollback, okay? I'm enabled to communicate this way or be rude because so and so spilled my drink or smudged my puma. Like we have some justification happening that is actually like not accurate. So we might have a person who's saying, okay, well, let's go look at the cameras. The security cameras will tell us whether or not that actually happened. And I feel like it would just expose that this Queen of Wands in the reverse is really looking for something to, like, any excuse possible to avoid admitting that they overreacted, admitting that maybe they could have been acting a little bit more like an adult. Ooh, very entitled. I mean, Queen of Wands in the reverse works for that, you know? We have High Priestess in the reverse and the Ace of Swords. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody who feels superior and then they get faced with the actual truth. So the High Priestess is in the reverse because this is somebody who is trying to talk down to another person. Then the King of Swords comes out and they're like, actually, here's the truth. When we check the security camera, here's what we see. It looks like you instigated it, or it looks like you lied. you know? Magician and the Hierophant in the reverse. This entitled individual feels like they have the ability to make decisions or make people feel small, but with Hierophant in the reverse, they're going to be put in their place by this King of Swords. Like, sorry, this is my establishment, and I'm now asking you to leave. Bye. So the Queen of Wands in the reverse is not as in control as they thought. Yeah, they're asked. For some of you, this is a person who gets fired. For others of you, this is somebody who is like banned from a restaurant or a retail shop. Like, you made stuff up, you tried to make it look like somebody else was the problem, and we don't stand for that. So you're gonna have to find a different place to get your crumpets or whatever it is that they want. What else do we have? Anybody else looking to get timed out today? What else? This is the Shadowscape Tarot, by the way. Ace of Cups in the reverse. I guess this is someone who just like woke up and chose like, yeah, chose violence, I guess. Or like chose to be difficult. Like, oh gosh, it's such a great day to go be a jerk to somebody. I can't wait. But this King of Swords is really great at protecting the space that they're in control of, whether they're the owner or the manager or just, a bystander that has some common sense. Have you ever had to do that? I've been in a gas station before where, yeah, it was taking a little while because someone brought in some lottery tickets that they were getting paid out on. And there was a little bit of a line, but it was also, I think, like 4th of July weekend or something. So it's like you expect it to be a little bit crazy. And this person was getting real mouthy. I mean, like unaccepted, like just, you're lucky I didn't slap you. I don't condone violence, okay? I'm not out here like slapping random people in public or anybody. But this is somebody who, if you have the Ally McBeal moment where you're daydreaming about it, I was doing that. But I did call this person out. Like, you're not making the line move any faster by distracting the person that you're asking to move faster. If this is something you don't have time for in your day, then maybe you need to go somewhere else, or maybe you need to, rework your schedule. But yelling at the person who's working is not going to accomplish anything. I stood up for them. So it could also just be that this King of Swords is somebody who's like, all right, nobody needs to hear from you. You're not making the situation any better. Just shh. Hello, Jamaica. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Tropic. What's up? Hello, Spiritual Healer. Yeah, exactly. My heart goes out to people that have to deal with the general public, because I have had several jobs where I had to deal with the general public. And if people stood up for me in those situations, I was very thankful for it. So if I have the opportunity to be like, listen here, bucko, no one cares what you have to say. And that person over there, yeah, they're a human. They deserve respect. And you are not giving that right now. Anyways, this King of Swords is standing up for somebody that they work with, or somebody who deserves respect. And I do feel like they're giving it, we might have somebody who's getting a little insulted. Or we could have this King of Swords literally like banning someone from their store. We're not going to do that. And the way that you've, acted, you can leave right now and you're banned. Or if you continue, I will call the cops. Either way, you're going to be leaving and you're not coming back. All right, Smithy, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Maybe find something useful to do with your brain, Looks like you can put together a pretty coherent sentence. So do something with it, homie. Yes. Although I think it's also important to understand, like, I'm a hugger, okay? But I have had friends who don't like to hug, and I have a desire to respect that, right? So treating other people the way they would like to be treated is a slight tweak on that golden rule. I think it's called the silver rule. But acknowledging that sometimes what you would do for yourself, it may be different than what somebody else would like. We have different preferences, different approaches. Hello, DS. How are you doing? It's even the memory. Yeah, I think that applies, Key Controller. Gabriel, grow up. My channel is for people that are over 18. So if you're making these comments because you think it's funny and you're like 16 or something, I'm just going to remind you my channel is not for that. If, on the other hand, you are over the age of 18, then you already know how to be respectful to people, and you already know that that comment is not a good use of your time. So if I see that again, and I do keep everything up here, by the way, then I will block you permanently from the channel. Understand? Yeah, see? So we have different preferences, and we got to accommodate for that. What else do we have? Four of Swords, Eight of Cups in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands. I think we have a person who is not at all planning on apologizing, being asked to apologize. So you overstepped those boundaries. You did something you shouldn't have. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Hello, Sarah Ann. I hope you're having a good day. But we have someone who's ready to speak up. Okay, so that's not how we treat people. And if no one else is going to say something, golly, I will. I'm down. I'm ready. Let's have this conversation about how to act in public, about how to act right. When I worked, well, I don't think I'm going to tell you where I worked, but one day I had couple customers standing in front of me. One was a mother and a daughter, and another was like a 30-year-old dude. And the daughter was probably like 16 and was not acting right. Okay, now we could give her a little bit of grace because you're not quite 18, brain's still kind of like forming and whatnot. But this teenage girl was being a brat, was being rude and talking back to her mom in a very disrespectful way. And at one point, because they were kind of close in proximity, the gentleman looks over and says, "My mom died 5 years ago, and standing here listening to how you speak to your mom is awful because I would do anything. I would pay great amounts of money to have the ability to look at my mom or give her a hug or say, 'I love you' again. And you're over here talking to her like she's a piece of dirt on the bottom of your shoe. You need to really think about how much this woman has done for you and how you should, at the very least, be respectful towards her in public because again, some people don't have their mom, and you're over here pretending like she's like some awful person when all she's trying to do is help you right now." And I was like, anyone have any popcorn? This is great. So, this King of Swords might not even be somebody who is employed at this public spot, right? It could just be somebody who's like, that's wrong. If nobody else is going to call it out, I will call it out. Hello, Sandy. How are you doing? Yes, Art is correct about that. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing today? Yes, I had a ton of respect for that man. He was very clear in his the words he chose. And I think also had that like line of, "I'm being very serious right now, and I hope you really look in the mirror and like ask yourself if that's the way you really want to treat your parent." So we have the Empress, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, and the Chariot. So this Queen of Wands in the reverse is told to, cut it out. Maybe even, an apology is demanded. And the consequences are laid out. I think this person ends up getting banned. Like maybe this was your favorite bar or burger spot, but it's not going to be anymore because you didn't know how to act right. Pretty much. And beyond that, we have a responsibility not to be jerks to each other. But I think in particular, if you are associated with somebody or friends with somebody and they mistreat somebody, are you going to say something about it? If you go to a restaurant and somebody is absolutely rude for no reason to the server, are you going to call them out for it? Or are you just going to be like, whatever, I guess maybe they just had a bad day? Our society is dependent upon us holding each other accountable. And yes, there are good ways and bad ways to do that. But in particular, our friends and our family, are you able to say, "Hey, I wasn't really feeling how you spoke to that person. Are you doing okay? Like, do we need to talk about something else? And do you think you could find it in your heart to apologize to that person? They're just here trying to work." And I would feel better if you cleared the air because it kind of made things awkward. Do you feel comfortable calling people out like that? Because I'm sorry, if you want to be my friend, you better call me out if I look like a tool in public. Three of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Wands. Looks like there's someone with the Queen of Wands in the reverse who doesn't call them out. So that could be part of the reason this reading is coming through. We are not, the boss of everyone, but we can help people be self-aware and challenge them, maybe just through asking questions. Is there a reason that you spoke to that person that way? Is everything okay? because some people get away with too much. Some people don't get called out enough. Six of Wands, the Hierophant, and the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So because of their behavior, we have this person being reminded of the rules. It's like they crash up against this reality that they had thought wasn't really for them. Like, I can do whatever I want. Nope. We're going to actually call out what's going on here and challenge you to be a better person. Not because I want to make you look stupid. You did that on your own. But because if I were misbehaving like that, I really genuinely hope that someone would call me out. Because how do we grow unless we are made aware of the things that are not acceptable behavior, right? Hello, Justin. How are you doing? All right. Where are we at? 31. Let's get a few from the Gilded Reverie. Have a good one, Rachel. 16, which is the Star. 43, which is the Labyrinth. So you are able to help somebody get back on the right path and acknowledge that there is a better way to approach the situation that frustrated them. Hello, Lee. Thank you for the tip. Let me add that for you. Thank you for the Sparkles Tropics. My biggest piece of advice would be to find some sort of musical or artistic expression that offers you a place to be calm and peaceful. Even if it's doodling in a notebook. Hey, please don't repeat your messages like that. If you would like me to do a question for you, Prakash, you can put it in a super chat, okay? So we have number 33, which is the Key, and number 37, which is the Clock. This is karma for this Queen of Wands in the reverse. They encountered somebody who is willing to identify for them what they need to do differently, and that, you know, people aren't going to tolerate the kind of treatment that they have been offering. Hello, Trilobite. How are you doing? So we have the Compass and the Fox. A bit of correction. This Queen of Wands in the reverse is getting guidance. Maybe they didn't ask for it. Maybe for some, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, it's just going to like go over their head. But this is an opportunity. The universe is saying, hey, you know, you want to act a certain way if you want a particular outcome. But you're not going to get the outcome that you want if you treat people like crap. I'm just saying. Because if you don't respect the people around you, at some point, it's all going to come crashing down on you. Connections. The bridges talk about the people that you connect with. And with this cross, we have the dark night of the soul or an ego death. So a friend or perhaps even just a random stranger is enticing or inviting this Queen of Wands in the reverse. Hey, wouldn't you like to be like less of a turd bucket? Wouldn't you like to just like, you know, be more respectful and likable? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't you like to like learn from that? All right. Where are we at? We're at 34:30. Let's go with the pause tarot, and we're gonna dive into those personal questions with Lee. What do we have for Lee, please? man. Like, I actually greet everybody that I see, anyways, in the live chat, but just like the way that you said it kind of gets under my skin. So, hi, but I'm not going to say your name. Don't tell me what to do. I don't like it. What do we have for Lee, please? Page of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. The Moon and the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Is this family? No, this is money. There is some expenditure of money that somebody is keeping secret. I do feel like this is somebody who is could be a fire sign, but I feel like this is somebody who goes between angry and calm pretty quickly. So they move between emotions and moods really quickly. This person is hiding that. Is this like actual gambling? They're hiding something that they invested in or spent money on, and it was not a good choice. So we have the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. This person is hoping that you don't ask any questions about this. But it's going to lead to some financial issues. So if there's someone who is supposed to contribute to things financially, whether that's like boss or hubby or ex, we've got someone who's not going to be able to fulfill their responsibilities or like their end of the bargain because of their irresponsible spending habits. So we have the Three of Wands, somebody who's trying to take action. Is this Lee's energy? Yeah. You're this Three of Wands, yeah, with the Queen of Cups. This is saying you have an opportunity coming up in the near future. I feel like this is within the next 14 days. And this is enabling you to find a different way to approach something financially. I do feel like the number 2 is important. It's like there's a second iteration or a second agreement or a different plan. But I feel like you already have suspicions that there is some sort of financial issue here that has been kind of ignored or brushed under the rug. Hello, Erin. How are you doing? Hello, Kanga. What's up? Thank you, Tropic. I appreciate it. So we have the Six of Pentacles. I do feel like there is a way for you to resolve this, Lee, where it is more equitable or you can avoid some of the like financial stress here. So if there is a conversation coming up, it's best to bring that up because someone here is just like they're not doing right by the finances. Five of Pentacles. I would lean towards this is probably the ex, in my opinion. Oh, are you stuck with rain as well, Kanga? I had some sunshine here for a couple of hours, maybe like hour and a half, 2 hours, and then the cloudiness came back. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Yeah, it was. All right. So, Tropics, you've sent a lot of fun stuff. Do you have any questions? I don't normally do questions for the gifts, but I'm feeling generous. So, if you have a question, share in the live chat. in like the next 30 seconds, and then I will pull some cards on that for you. Hello, Itachi. How are you doing? Yes, I think you're right about that, Kay Garrett. This is definitely somebody who does not have self-control, but maybe, just maybe, they're gonna get inspired. You know. Yeah, I'll just see what I get for you. What do we have for tropics, please? Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. King of Cups in the reverse. Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is a heads up for you that your intuition is a little bit, it's like hurting right now. It's not as prominent or trusted. So this is a little warning that you have this really good opportunity coming towards you with this Wheel of Fortune. It is significant change, something that improves your situation, maybe financially, or maybe it's more so about the emotions. But with King of Cups in the reverse, I do feel like there is this like, why is it not working the way that I want? Or why is life just kind of like disappointing right now? You have the opportunity to make a shift or a change, but there's a risk that you're going to miss it. So when you are faced with a decision where you have to choose whether to make a change / believe in yourself or take a little bit of a risk, please believe in yourself. I believe in you. This is something that you could end up missing, which is a very positive change in your life. If you're just kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. Believe in yourself, because there's something really beautiful that changes for you. But if you just kind of like assume that'll happen again, or, I'm busy watching The Sopranos, you may miss out on something that is really amazing for you. So I ask you to not get in your own way. And when there is an opportunity that feels like, maybe you'd have to stretch a little bit to make it happen, know that you can do it and it is meant for you. So don't miss it. All right, let's see, what do we have? Hello, Priyanka. How are you doing? Let's take a look at that for you. What do we have regarding Ayesha's energy for Priyanka and true intentions, please? What are Ayesha's emotions and true intentions for Priyanka? Ten of Swords in the reverse. Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. The Empress and Two of Wands. This feels to me like somebody who is not quite done with something from their past. Still feeling emotionally raw from a rejection or separation, and looking for something that would distract. So is this person not serious? Yeah, this is somebody who is wanting to feel better about themselves, looking for some sort of validation. I do feel like this person is intrigued or enamored of you, but I feel like their motivations are not so great. It's like, maybe you can make me feel better about the person who rejected me. And I think I saw another one as well. What are the feelings of RT and, well, let's do it separately. For Priyanka, how does RT feel about Priyanka? This is somebody who wishes well for you and wants to see you happy, but feels like there are mistakes that maybe are repeated or lessons that should be learned. I feel like this is somebody who just wants to see you like find where you should be and find the people that are your soul tribe. So there's patience and um, like crossing their fingers for you because they want you to be happy. How does Sarav feel for Priyanka? That was a challenge for me. I'm sorry. This is somebody who sees you as moving through life quickly. Somebody who feels like, with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, there's a lot that you're able to achieve professionally, but you haven't reached your potential quite yet, in part because you are distracted. So this is somebody who wants to see you be more like intentional with regards to your success and hold off with regards to relationship. But I see this person wanting you to be successful as well. This is like, I see you as super intelligent. I feel like you can get a lot done, but you get distracted by people who don't deserve your attention. So there's a lot of concern that this person has or has regarding your safety, because there are people that, in this person's opinion, that you shouldn't be dealing with or tolerating. Hello, cities. How are you doing? Every day I'm hustling. I would be just fine with never hearing that again, Trilobite. Good luck, Zoran. Ooh, goodness. Does that mean you have no requirements? All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it there. I love you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.